So right now I'm going to try out the Sonos subwoofer hack. Why would you want to do that? Because the Sonos sub is $7.99 and a little bit more than some people might want to spend on a sub. I'll be using the Ikea Symfonisk speaker, and it's the least expensive way that you can get into the Sonos ecosystem at $119. Used to be a little bit less expensive, but it is what it is. The good thing about those is you can use them as surround speakers if you're using something like the Sonos Beam or the Arc. And so it's kind of an inexpensive way to get a surround sound system and still use Sonos. So of course you're gonna need a subwoofer. I wouldn't recommend buying an expensive sub for something like this because it's not perfect. Something like this $88 mono price sub is something that I might recommend just because it's inexpensive, and that's all you really need for something like this. One thing the subwoofer will need are high level speaker inputs. Some of them only have RCAs. You definitely need one with high level inputs. I'm not the first one to do this. I've actually watched other videos. I'll link to those down below. And all it is you're tapping into the woofer terminal on the Sonos speaker, and you're using that to provide a subwoofer signal. Now that's not perfect in many ways, and I'll tell you why. First, it's not a true 0.1 channel, meaning it's not receiving the 0.1, the low frequency signals that you have in a movie. It's just getting the bass that would normally go to the speaker, and it's routing it to a subwoofer. The other thing is it's not truly full range in that the original Symfonisk that I reviewed previously actually has a bass response where it plays lower. The newer one, it seems like they're more conservative. I'm not sure if it's because people are doing this hack or because they wanted a speaker with less distortion. But in any case, it seems to have less bass than the original, which affects the output to the sub, which is getting that same exact signal. If you really want a better response, then you might want to use some kind of DSP to recover some of that bass. Again, I wouldn't recommend going that far. This is just a way to add some extra bass to your system. All right, so here's some pink noise just through the Symfonisk by itself with no sub. So here's the sound with the sub. See if you can hear a difference in tonality. All right, so this is with the surrounds off and no sub.
But what if sound could be extraordinary again? Inches are up and burning. Opening main door for second room.
That's just the beam right there.
But what if sound could be extraordinary again? Inches are up and burning. Opening main door for second room. What if sound could be?
So the first thing you're gonna want to do is take off these rubber tabs. I've already done that. I use this watch tool here. And so you just kind of pop these out here. You want to make sure to not rip them. So be kind of careful. And when you get them kind of to the point where you can pull them out, you just take them out like that. So there are a couple of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then underneath that is a screw. So you just go ahead and use a screwdriver here. Take them out. Okay, so once you have those out, you actually just grab a hold of this port and you pull from the top, and the bottom might be stuck a little bit. So you're gonna wanna pull up. You wanna be very gentle with this because there is a ribbon right there. So there's this little rubber piece here that you lift up and you can actually take this right out. So that's one thing to be careful of when you're opening it. And then the procedure itself is pretty simple. All we're doing is we're tapping into the woofer here. You can see I've already done that. So this is the positive, the larger one here on this side, and the smaller one is on this side. Make sure to tape them up after you've kind of just put your wires, attach it there, and you just don't want the wires to touch anything it's not supposed to touch. I'm just using an ordinary speaker wire. You can see what I've done is I've actually drilled a hole in the back here. I've chosen one of these locations because there's nothing on the other side. You want to choose a spot where there's no circuit board on the side. And so I've chosen the spot near the top, drilled the hole, and I've filled that with some hot glue. So that holds the wire in place there. I think it's also a good idea to make a knot here on the inside just so if somebody accidentally pulls out the wire, it won't pull it off of the speaker itself here. After that, you just kind of reseat this wire here. You want to push it to the back here. There's some little notches to let you know that it's back far enough, and then you close that up. So make sure none of the wires are in the way. Go ahead and close it up. Make sure it creates a nice seal, and then put all the screws back. I had an extra subwoofer here, and so I just connected it here to the high level inputs. I said that the sub does need to have these. So go ahead, I went ahead and connected it here to the top. I actually have some jumpers that connect the left and the right speaker because I wanted it to get to both channels. So that's all this wire is. You don't necessarily need that, but it's just something extra that I did. So that's pretty much it. I think you will enjoy that. If you just want to add a little bit more bass, then that's the way to do it. So if you're interested in checking out more tutorial videos like this, I have more on avmasterclass.com. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye.